Good morning, student. Now we are going to see the operating system. That means the role of operating system in program execution. This is the part of your inside program execution chapter. Now, first of all, see what is the operating system. Now you can define operating system as operating system is an system software which acts as an interface between computer hardware, software and users. That means operating system is used to manage all the resources like computer hardware, software or users. And if we are going to see with the figure, then suppose that this is user 1 here. This is your software part. There are two types of software: system software and application software. Application software here is your operating system. And this is your hardware. Now if all these things are going to connect with the operating system, operating system it works as an interface between user, software and computer hardware. This is the main role and application of operating system. That is, without operating system you are not able to work with the computer system. Now see some role or major function of operating system. Our first one is process management, second one is resource management, third memory management and input output management. These are the main function of operating system. Now let's understand about process management. First of all, before going to process management, first see what is the process. A running program is called a process. That is, when the program is in execution phase, it is called process. When any program going to execute, it is loaded into main memory. Now it becomes process. That means before the program execution, the program which are going to be executed by CPU, first it must be loaded into main memory. Now when the program is loaded into main memory, this is called process. Now see the memory allocation of process in main memory. Now we are going to see how to process are stored in the main memory and what is the role of operating system in storing the process in your main memory. There are 4 block of memory. First one is store for program code, second one is store for global variable, third one is stack and fourth one is heap. Now let's understand the role of all the block. Now here in first block, program code will store. It store the program. Now in second it store the global variable. Now in third block, the stack is going to store all the necessary things like function call, address, return call of function and current state of program. All things are going to be stored in stack. Now heap is used for dynamic storage. Heap is used for dynamic storage. That means at the runtime, when the process needs more space at the runtime, then heap will provide that space. This is the function of all these block of memory. Now I think it is clear to you. Now second thing is process cycle or process state. There are 4 to 5 states. First one is start, ready, running state, and waiting state, and termination of the program. Now here first state is your start state. That means in this state the program is going to store in main memory from your secondary memory. Now if the program is going to be executed, that means the program is stored in the job queue. Now this is called ready state. Ready state, that means program is going to be executed and waiting for the CPU. Now the program is going to process. When program is going to process, that means processing is start. This is called running state. While in running state there is the wait state. That means waiting state, when program is ready and waiting to for free the CPU. That means प्रोसेस होने से पहले अगर यहाँ पे हमारा प्रोसेस वेट कर रहा है CPU के फ्री होने का, देन दिस स्टेट इज कॉल्ड वेट स्टेट. नाउ अगेन व्हाइल द टाइम ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन, इफ प्रोसेस स्टार्ट एग्जीक्यूशन in running time, then in running time when process is again waiting for the some resources, some input output devices to be free, then again processes are in the wait state. Now when the process is going to again resumption, here is the resumption, resume. When the input output devices or CPU will be free, then again this process is going to running state from the waiting state. And now finally when process will be done, then it will terminated. That means the process going to complete its execution and it produce the output and terminated. That means deleted from the memory. While the process cycle, sometimes the process is going to in wait state for very long time. That means again and again there is no CPU or input output devices will free at the time slot allotted to that process. Then from the waiting state also the program can be terminated. जब आपको यहाँ पे इनपुट आउटपुट डिवाइसेस अगर नहीं मिल रहा है और आप वेटिंग में बहुत देर से वेटिंग स्टेट में प्रोसेस है, देन दैट प्रोसेस विल ऑटोमेटिकली टर्मिनेटेड एंड again that will send to the ready state. This is the process cycle. That means how process is going to done by the CPU. I hope there is no confusion in process cycle. Now one concept is used, PCB, by the operating system. That means process control block. This is the operating system maintains a data structure called PCB to keep track of a process. When we want to keep the all information about the process, then we have to maintain the PCB. That means operating system will have to maintain a PCB, process control block, for to keep the record of process ID, process state, process priority, pointer, program counter and CPU register. Now first thing is process ID. Now if we are going to see the concept of PCB, it looks like as this is your PCB. See, here CPU register and some more information will be stored here. Process ID gives the unique ID for process. Each process have unique ID. And process state, that means it defines the state of process. Is it in ready state or is it in waiting state or it is in running state. Now process priority defines the order of the execution of the process, which process will execute the after the next job. And pointer can store the location of the process and parent process or sub process. Program counter register store all the next instruction which is going to be executed after this process, after the running process. Now CPU register are the store information about which process is used for execution. Now this is the all about your process control block concept. I hope it is clear to you. Now next thing in process management is process scheduling or job scheduling. When process scheduling done, process is also called job. That means when many processes are loaded in CPU, then job scheduler decide which process will be executed and which will wait or terminate. That means process scheduling maintains the process scheduling is order of execution. Order of execution of program. This is the scheduling. Now when more than one or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this process is loaded in the CPU, then which process is going to be executed first and which is the next. That means what is the sequence of the process execution. This is called process scheduling, and this job is done by process or job scheduler. There are some commonly used scheduling algorithm are given. First one is FCFS, second one is SJF, shortest job first. Now see what is the FCFS. Now suppose that this is your CPU, this is your CPU or this is your processor. Now if there is 4 to 5 job, suppose that this is your job and this is your processor. Now suppose that this is your job 1, this is your job 2, this is your job 3 and this is job 4. Now FCFS specified the first come first serve. That means which job is going to be reached at first from this of the CPU, then that will be processed. That means if you are going to take the order of execution, then in FCFS this is your job execution. First J1, that means job 1 will be done, then job 2 will be processed, then job 3 will be processed, and last J4, that means job 4 will be done. Because the job first reached first to the CPU, then it is processed first. That means first come first serve. जो जैसे जिस ऑर्डर में पहुँचेगा CPU तक उसी ऑर्डर में वो प्रोसेस होगा. और नेक्स्ट एल्गोरिथम इज SJF. Now next is SJF. That means shortest job first. Now if this is your program, now we are going to calculate the process time for each process. Now suppose we are going to calculate this, right? J1 will execute in 5 seconds, 5 millisecond. J2 will going to 10 millisecond. This is 20 millisecond and this is 2 millisecond. This is your process time. That means what time will allocated to is the processor, time taken by the process to be done. Now shortest job first decide the process or the job which have minimum time to execute, that will be done first. That means that will serve first. Now in SJF, if we are going to use SJF, then the order of execution will be see job 4 because it takes 2 millisecond, and next one is job 1, it takes 5 millisecond. job 1, then job 2, then job 2 will be done, and in last job 3. And in last job 3 will be done, because this is the done with the help of the time taken by the process. This is take 2 millisecond, 5 millisecond, 10 millisecond and 20 millisecond. This is your shortest job first algorithm. Many other algorithms are also used for the scheduling, but there are 2 algorithms in your syllabus. So understand the difference of the first. In FCFS, first job 1 will be done, then job 2, then job 3, then job 4. But in shortest job first, the job which is going to executed in short time will be done or processed first, and same in the order. Now scheduling is of 2 types, preemptive and non-preemptive scheduling. Preemptive, that means that can stop. Preempt, that means stop or interrupt. And second one is non-preemptive. That means that cannot stop, that can't stop at the time of running. That means there are 2 types of scheduling. Now see with the help of example. If we are going to using any algorithm, suppose we are going to use FCFS. Now if there is any critical process is reached to the CPU. Now if CPU is processing J2 and there is J4 is the critical process, that means J4 is very important or critical process, or J4 is going to take short time, but until the J2 will be done, there is no preemption for J4. that means जब तक J2 कंप्लीट नहीं हो जाता है, यहाँ पे हम प्रोसेस को स्टॉप नहीं कर सकते हैं. दिस इज द नॉन प्रीएम्प्टिव एल्गोरिदम. जब तक हमारा रनिंग प्रोसेस को हम स्टॉप नहीं करेंगे, जब तक कि वो कंप्लीट नहीं हो जाए. इन प्रीएम्प्टिव एल्गोरिदम और शेड्यूलिंग, if any job is going to executed and next job is very high priority, then that will be stopped and high priority process will be sent to the CPU first, and that will executed first. For this mechanism, the job priority will be set by the CPU decides the job priority, that means process priority allocation. जिसकी priority high होगी वो job पहले done होगा. So this is the basic difference between preemptive and non-preemptive scheduling. No need to go for detail. So now I hope you have clear concept of process management. In our next lecture we are going to see about some other features of operating system. Now thank you for today.